Hi guys, welcome to our certificate course on how to generate high quality B2B leads. Well, this course is all about how you can identify, nurture, and prospect your ideal customers. The total duration of the course is 7 days, so you will have multiple videos that you have to go through during the duration of these 7 days, and at the end of each video, you will also be having some tasks that you have to complete and submit to us. And I know that sales is of essence and it's all about time, so it's a time out course that you have to complete. Now during the course you also will have some access to tools like Academy Scraper, Easy Leads, and Prospector, which will help you go through the entire course and complete your task in time. So let's get right into our first topic, which is ideal customer profile. So ideal customer profile is a perfect definition of a customer who will be needing what you have to offer, and in return they pay you the money for the solution that you offer to them. Now let's take an example of Easy Leads. What we do is we sell B2B contact data solutions. So we have to first understand who is the right customer for us. In order to identify that, we first see who is the customer who will be needing what we have to offer. So let's take an example. All the businesses who sell to other businesses, they would be the right fit for us because they would be needing B2B contact data that Easy Leads offer to them. That is how we eliminate all the consumer companies like PepsiCo, because we don't know whether they will be needing what we have to offer to them or not. So this is how we first arrive and eliminate a segment of the customers from our total ideal customer profile. So now that we have identified whether a company will need our product or solutions or not, let's take a further deep dive into whether they can afford or whether they have the budget or not. Now, our product starts at approximately 27,000 rupees. So not every company will have the kind of money to invest in a solutions like us. So how do we eliminate all these companies? One of the ways that we do that is by understanding what size of employees that company has. So we eliminate all the companies that have a minimum of 20 employee size. Or you can also use a revenue filter or a paid up capital filter to narrow down your customer segments based on all of these parameters or either of one. So for a better illustration, let's get to the whiteboard and see what we have learned so far. So in order to segment companies, we first identified their needs. For us, it was B2B companies. Then we identified the budget or affordability. For us, it was the parameter of size of companies, which was 20 plus employees. Then the third parameter that we added on top of it is industry segmentation. So the companies who would be more relevant for us are IT companies, finance companies, marketing agencies, or recruitment firms. So this is how we break down our ideal customer profile by the basis of their needs, their budget, and their segments. Now that we have identified how to create an ideal customer profile, we will further focus on the decision makers in these companies or the influencers who will affect our decision whether they would be buying our product or services or not. So in the first section, we talked about filtering companies and identifying them by basis on their budget and needs. In the next section, we are going to talk about the decision makers. So decision makers are the people who will basically either be using your product or they will be buying your product. There are two kinds of people in different organizations depending on their side who we will focus on. So first one is user. A user is directly affecting the product usability. So they are the ones who use your product and service in an organization. So for Easy Leads, all the sales and marketing professional or a CEO, if it's a small company, they are our users. Sales, marketing, and CEOs, if it's a small company. When it comes to buyer, they could be different depending on the size of the business. When it comes to small companies, the buyer is essentially the CEO or founder of the company. When it comes to large company, there are functional heads like director of sales or director of marketing who could be the buyer. That is specifically to our case. For your business, There could be different kind of job buyers or different kind of influencers who you have to figure out in the task that we're going to give it to you now. Buyers, director, sales, or marketing. Now that we have learned about decision makers as well as the companies basis on employee size, their revenue, their budget and needs, we have to complete our first task, which is first of all define your business, write it down in a clear description what you do, what kind of product or services you offer, and then you focus on creating your ideal customer profile, and you can use these parameters in order to write your ICP. First could be define your business. Define business and products or services that you sell. Then the next step is creating your ideal customer profile, in which you can use these parameters, which could be employee size, locations. For example, I want to target companies that are based out of India. The third is industry. If your product or service is industry agnostic, then you can leave this as empty, or if you focus on a particular industry, then you have to mention the industries that you want to reach out to. Let's say IT in our case. Then the next is decision maker, which could be the job titles. Example, CEO, CFO, purchase person. So this is how you have to complete your first task and submit your ideal customer profile, and they could be multiple also. If you have multiple products or services that you offer, so you can create multiple ideal customer profile as per the businesses that you want to sell it for. Now that we have learned about what is ICP and how you can create your ideal customer profile, now it's time for you to complete your first task. And I hope you all have received your first task, and I'm awaiting every one of you to submit them to me. If you have any suggestions, you can always reach out to me on my email, which is nitin@easyleads.com. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.